we'll take it from the highlights from the football game with Texas Tech and introduce you to one of the Oregon seniors. And this particular young man has struggled a little bit to start this season, but he's had an outstanding career and certainly ranks in some of the statistical categories as the #1 kicker all time in Oregon football history. Let's meet Greg McCallum.
Basically, when I go out to kick, I try to think about one thing, and that's kicking. I try to think about what I'm supposed to do when I kick, and sometimes it messes me up when I'm distracted by other things, such as, the crowd or, just anything else that would get in the way. So what I try to do is I go out and just think only about kicking when I go out there. So the fundamentals of it, watching the place on the ground and the place, behind the goalposts. Well, most important of all is my relationship with Jesus Christ. And I asked him in my life when I was a senior in high school. That was when I really made the commitment to him. And because of that, he's the one that set up everything with football. What really the Lord kind of showed me was, and I used to say this at meetings, is aim for perfection. It's like he's the one that's kind of setting the perfection in my life. And he says, no, I don't want you aiming for, anything less. I want you aiming for perfection. And it's like, oh, okay. And so in that light, it made me start having higher goals for myself. It made me start saying, I'm not going to settle for just a little bit less. I want to settle for, the best I can do. Football's not going to last forever, and I realize that. And I've enjoyed it a lot while I've been here. And I just know that one day my heart's set for ministry, so that's my end destination. I don't know when that will happen, but that's my end destination.
Well, he's had a great career so far for you. He's maybe the most consistent kicker in Oregon football history, but ironically this year he has been inconsistent. Missed PAT, had his streak of 73 straight snapped last week, and missed a field goal against Texas Tech, which snapped a string of 7 straight for him.
Well, I think that I still would like to have Greg McCallum kicking a field goal that needed to be made if we were going to win the football game. That field goal at the end was virtually a meaningless field goal. He pushed it a little wide right. Ironically, both his extra point and his field goal would have been good on the old goalpost. So he's pushed both of those kicks, and he's just not quite getting his hips through the ball. And I think you'll see him be making a lot of field goals and a lot of extra points as the year goes along.
I've had some of the other coaches tell me that he maybe prepares to do his job as thoroughly as anybody else. We went to Texas Tech, the stadium, on Friday night. We got there, I don't know, it's about 9 o'clock, and they don't have any of the lights on except the scoreboard. And there's Greg McCallum. He's out there at various spots on the field trying to mentally get a picture of what he has to do.
Well, he visualizes a lot, and he'll do that in the meeting room. I found him late Friday night after the players had just kind of looked at some tapes on their own, and I'm walking by going up to my room, and open the door, and he's standing there with his earphones on, and he's lining up a kick. And he does a great job of taking the distractions away from him that affect a lot of other kickers.
And I don't think there's any question in it that here's a young man that you can count on bouncing back, and sometime during the course of the season there'll be a big field goal that has to be made. More than likely, Greg McCallum will put the ball through the goalpost. When we come back, we'll get back into the highlights. The Ducks leading Texas Tech at halftime 14-10. Stick with us.